I once had a coat that was made of many colors, made by my father, for he loved me above my brothers. He loved me not because of the things in life I had done, but because of my mother, who was his favorite one. You see, Jacob was my father, and Rachel was my mom. To be his wedded wife, he had worked 7 years long. My great uncle Laban had tricked him on his wedding night, and in the dark switched Leah, Rachel's sister, to be his wife. To have Rachel as his wife, the one he truly loved so dear, Laban made him work for him another long 7 years. And though Leah was unloved, she bore Jacob 10 sons. So when I came along from Rachel, I became the favorite one. When I grew up as a child, my brothers did all the labor. My father would send me to check on them. To them it was no favor. But when my father made that coat and gave it to me, the anger in their hearts arose, and often they would see. This coat was to be a blessing, but to me became a curse. It caused pride to rise in me. My ego was even worse. My brothers looked at me with scorn. Bitterness arose within, and finally they had enough of me and sold me to the Egyptians. In Egypt I discovered I was only to be a slave. I cried out to my God, "Oh God, please come and save." My ego was bruised and crushed, my pride no longer there, and God came to me in comfort. My God truly did care. He blessed me in my labors as I worked in Potiphar's house, and soon I was in charge of all when he left to go about. His wife had her eyes on me and wanted me for her own. I was soon in prison for no wrong. Had God left me all alone? But God blessed me while in prison, and I was soon put in charge of the care of all who lived in there. God's plans are really large. He soon gave me the gift to interpret the dreams that others had. The cupbearers turned out for good, but the bakers ended bad. My coat of many colors, I would soon find out in time, was not made by man, but by God's mountains I would climb. The colors were the places where even in despair, when I turned to God above, my God always would be there. As time went on, while still in prison, the Pharaoh had a dream. None of his wisest of men could tell him what the dream did mean. The cupbearer remembered me and told Pharaoh of my gift. I told the Pharaoh the meaning of his dream, and God gave me a lift. Pharaoh put me in charge of everything throughout Egypt's land, for the dream told me of a famine that soon would be at hand. For 7 years I stored up grain for 7 famine years ahead. God's blessings seemed to fall on me. What was evil turned good instead. My father sent to Egypt my brothers to buy food for the famine was widespread, and things did not look good. I knew them right away, though they didn't recognize who I was. I knew then their evil from years ago was in God's plan above. And when I finally revealed to them I was their brother they had sold, we all wept tears of joy as I shared God's plan that was so bold. They brought my father and their families to live in Egypt's best land, and my younger brother Benjamin, who would now become a man. My coat of many colors, I would soon find out in time, was not made by man, but by God's mountains I would climb. The colors were the places where even in my despair, when I turned to God above, my God always would be there. The colors were the places where even in my despair,